Hello, you too. I got a question on my first video of this series, not series, but a little thing about making a team and advice and all that stuff. Well, I got a question from this guy, Lonely Skater. Says asking where we live. He lives in South Houston, and he plays at Paintball Zone North, and He's looking to play speedball. The only thing he owns is V Force Profilers, and he really wants to start playing speedball. And he's looking at an invert mini or Dangerous Power G4, and he says any help would be useful. How to make money? I'm 14, guns and gear. You know, he can't really. Sounds like his parents aren't helping him. Ask his. He's like, ask your parents first if you're at that age, and if they won't help you, you gotta get the money yourself. Like what I did was I asked if I can work in the field for money, and basically I sacrificed my playtime. I'd play like 2 games a month, and the rest of not a month, but a weekend, and I'd get money. I get paid like once a month. 300 to 200 bucks a month, and I would just I'd spend all that on gear or like some paint, so I can be like, oh, I'm off today. This is just a play day for me. And first thing you should buy is first thing you got was good, a mask, which is a profile, which is a pretty good mask for it's a rental mask. They fog up, they're uncomfortable, they're sweaty. Other people sweat, they're nasty. When you have your own mask, it's less sweaty because you're only using it. It doesn't stink, all that stuff. And having a high end mask like a profiler, it's more comfortable and it has better breathing, so it's not as hot as you would get in a rental mask. Last thing I would get, probably a hopper. This is a great hopper to have. You don't need to start off with it because it is one of the best. It's either you get this or the rotor. Top two hoppers. This is the Z2. I would say get the Halo, the Invert 2, or find a used Halo or something like that that's working. But find it like you can buy an Invert 2. It's a great hopper to start off with. I see a lot of guys using those, or you can find a used Prophecy, or like a old a rotor's resale for 90 bucks. You can find a used rotor or something like that. Most rotors aren't. It's hard to break a rotor, so most of them should be working. You buy your hopper first, put it on your rental, and then you buy your tank, HPA tank. Don't buy a CO2 tank, because if you're wanting to go in speedball, most modern speedball guns nowadays are reliable. Cannot run CO2 through them. Like this NT, if you put CO2 through an NT, I will find you and I will backhand you so hard. But yeah, you do not put CO2 through a gun like an NT ever. Don't put it through any dot guns. Don't put it through any Planet Eclipse guns. I don't care if it says, like the Ion, for example, says you can put CO2 through it. You can. It won't work as well. I guarantee it won't operate for a long time. The CO2 breaks solenoids to the high pressure and the moisture. And that's within the CO2. It can also damage regulators also. But yeah, after you buy your tank, buy a tank according to like your height, or if you're if you want to be a front player or something like that, you might want to get a smaller tank. I'm 5'7", and I play Snake in Dorito, and I got this tank so I can play tight. Yeah. And after that, you can buy your gun. This kid's going the right way with trying to get a mini or a Dangerous Power G4. They're cheap, but they're reliable and they're good. The mini is basically like an axe anyway, so you're basically buying a smaller axe, except the board is different and the regulator isn't on off, which you can cross-thread tanks on. The G4 is really good too. Only problem with the G4 is that it has bolt stick, because it has no O-rings in the bolt. So you need to just lube that thing up like crazy. And what I've seen, the stock lube isn't the greatest lube for it, and monkey poo works the best for it, as it works the best for most spool valves that I've seen, and it's what I recommend for spool valves. But yeah, you buy your gun, and all that stuff. And yeah, if you can't get a job at the field, you gotta do side jobs, like for example, mow lawns. You know, find a couple guys at the field. Ask guys at the field. Do you need your lawn mown or something like that? Or just ask around the neighborhood. Well, I wouldn't recommend that, depending on if your neighborhood is bad or not. If your neighborhood is good, you ask around. Do you need your lawn mowed? Ask for, do a reasonable price and make sure you mow it like as if it was your own lawn, so they'll want you back, and they might increase the money. The other thing is, like, say you want to upgrade to another gun. Like, I had an Ion first, then I got a Bob Long Mark Wrapper, then I got a DM9, then I got an Axe, and now I have this. My thing was I bought the Ion for 175 with a steely tank and a hopper. A little it felt like 12 balls a second, which is good for the time that it was made. But yeah, I had that, and I sold that whole setup. Well, I upgraded it a bit. I got like a Deadly Winds barrel and the Deadly Winds bolt on it, and I sold the whole Ion for $175 with the steely tank, so I didn't need it anymore, and then the hopper, and then I bought a Mark, and then I got a rotor after that. I got a rotor. Like, I was hopperless. You should never buy I do this mistake all the time. I buy a gun, but I never have the tank or hopper whenever I buy a gun. And when I do buy the gun and I have a tank and hopper, it's a Bob Long, and I had a high pressure tank, and the solenoid didn't like it. Do your research before you buy your gun. And then my Bob Long started to work as I bought an SLP reg, and then after that, things started going good for me. But yeah, selling your guns, you gotta fight. You will never sell your gun. You'll be like, oh, I put $800 into my Ion, I'm selling it for $500. You will never sell your Ion for more than $200. That's lucky if you sell for $200. You can have a paragraph of upgrades, and someone will offer you $110 and expect you to say yes, because that's how much Ions run for. 175 to 150, pushing it 150. Yeah. And you can also just be like, oh, I'm gonna trade. Like, for example, how I got this. I traded my Axe and $300, and I got this. Pretty good trade, I got $300 in my Axe, and I got this. My Axe wasn't even broken in yet, really, and this is barely broken in. So it's a good trade. Try to trade local. Because guys on PBN, it's like you're guaranteed to get gypped sometimes. Like, just look at their feedback. If you go on there, look at their history on their feedback, and see what guys say about them. eBay is the best way to go, because eBay, you're gonna get your money and just what you want it, because you put your lowest on there, and then it just goes up from there. Best place to go to is eBay, because you're gonna get your money. PBN is just full of people that lowball you. Tech PB, but it's a lot better than. Because it's ran by paintball players, not some guy that has some money to run a paintball for him. Yeah. And that's basically how you make money. You either do side jobs, or you work at the field. Like, this is if you're not 16. If you're 16 above, get a job somewhere. Jesus Christ. Like, I work at Taco Bell. That's how I make my money out. My money now. I'm in training right now. I just got hired. But yeah, get a job if you're 16 and above. If you're 14, 15, do odd jobs, like someone's moving out, hey, $10, I'll move your stuff for you. Or, something like that, Not $10, probably 30, 40, depending on how heavy stuff is. Mow lawns. Heck, even open a lemonade stand or something, do something. Or ask if the field help you out, be like, hey, parents are helping me out. I'm willing to do anything to help, to get money. I'll help the field. I'll work here. I'll referee y'all. Y'all cut me some slack with the paint price or something like that. And also, if you're trying to get into speedball, play it a bit first. and then talk to some, find a bunch of kids, your age, or a bunch of guys that, are also just starting. Talk to them about forming a team, build a relationship with them. Then eventually just, throw the line, be like, hey, we play pretty well together, let's make a team. Make a team like that, And that's basically how I met my team. We became friends, we played pretty well together, we found each other's weaknesses, strengths. We're like, oh, pick a team. Sure. Yeah. So that's basically like, how you make money, starting a team from scratch, and getting new guns, and the order you should go, getting your gear. Alright. Stay aggressive.